Ang mabuting balita ng Panginoon ayon kay San Lucas. Noong panahon yun, nilibak sa Jesus ng mga pinuno ng bayan, anila. Iniligtas niya ang iba, iligtas naman niya ngayon ang kanyang sarili. Kung siya nga ang Mesiyas, ang hinirang ng Diyos, libak din siya ng mga kawan. Nilapitan at inalok ng maasim na alak. Sinabi nila, kung ikaw ang hari ng mga Diyo, iligtas mo ang iyong sarili. At nakasulat sa ulanan niya sa wikang Griego, Latin at Hebreo. Ito ang hari ng mga Diyo. Tinuya siya na isa sa mga salaring nakabitin at ang sabi, hindi ba ikaw ang Mesiyas? Iligtas mo ang iyong sarili, pati na kami. Ngunit pinagsabihan siya ng kanyang kasama, hindi ka ba natatakot sa Diyos? Ikaw may pinarusang tulad niya. Matwid lamang na tayo parusahan ng ganito dahil sa ating mga ginawa. Ngunit ang taong ito'y walang ginawang masama. At sinabi niya, Jesus, alalahanin mo ako kapag naghari ka na. Sumagot si Jesus, sinasabi ko sa inyo, ngayon di isasama kita sa paraiso. Ang mabuting balita ng Panginoon. Pinupuri ka namin, Panginoong Heso Kristo.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Solemnity of Jesus Christ, King of the universe. This is the last Sunday of the church year, which means we focus on the final and glorious things to come. It also means that next Sunday is already the first Sunday of Advent. When we say Jesus is King, we mean a few things. First, He is our shepherd. As our shepherd, He desires to lead us personally as a loving Father would. He wants to enter our lives personally, intimately, and carefully, never imposing Himself, but always offering Himself as our guide. The difficulty with this is that it's very easy for us to reject this kind of kingship. As King, Jesus desires to lead every aspect of our lives and lead us in all things. He desires to become the absolute ruler and monarch of our souls. He wants us to come to Him for everything and to become dependent upon Him always. But He will not impose this sort of kingship upon us. We must accept it freely and without reservation. Jesus will only govern our lives if we freely surrender ourselves over. When that happens, though, His kingdom begins to become established within us and through us in the world. Additionally, Jesus does wish for His kingdom to begin to be established in our world. First and foremost, this takes place when we become His sheep and thus become His instruments to help convert the world. However, as King, He also calls us to establish His kingdom by seeing to it that His truth and law is respected within civil society. It's Christ's authority as King that gives us the authority and duty as Christians to do all we can to fight civil injustices and bring about a respect for every human person. All civil law ultimately gains its authority from Christ alone, since He is the one and only universal King. But many do not recognize Him as King. So what about them? Should we impose God's law upon those who do not believe? The answer is both yes and no. First, there are some things we cannot impose. For example, we cannot force people to go to Mass each Sunday. This would hinder one's freedom to enter into this precious gift. We know Jesus requires it of us for the good of our souls, but it must still be embraced freely. However, there are some things that we must impose upon others. The protection of the unborn, poor, and vulnerable must be imposed. The freedom of conscience must be written into our laws. The freedom to practice our faith openly within any institution must be imposed also. And there are many other things we could list here. What's important to point out is that at the end of all time, Jesus will be returning to earth in all his glory, and he will then establish his permanent and unending kingdom. At the time, all people will see God as he is, and his law will become one with civil law. Every knee will bend before the great King, and all will know the truth. At that time, true justice will reign, and every evil will be corrected. What a glorious day that will be. Reflect today upon your own embrace of Christ as King. Does he truly govern your life in every way? Do you allow him to have complete control over your life? When this is done freely and completely, the kingdom of God is established in your life. Let him reign so that you can be converted, and through you, others can come to know him as Lord of all.
Mga kapatid sa pananampalataya, ipinagdiriwang po natin sa linggong ito ang Christ the King. Si Kristo ang hari ng mga hari at ang hari ng sanlibutan. Ito'y napakahalagang kapistahan dahil po tinututukan natin anong klaseng pagkahari na meron ang ating Panginoong Diyos. Anong klaseng paglilingkod, anong klaseng pagbibigay ng sarili, alang-alang sa ating kapwa. Ito din po ay katapusan ng liturgical calendar kung saan po sa sunod-sunod na linggo papasok na po tayo sa panahon ng Adbyento, panahon kung saan pinagmumuni-munihan natin ang dakilang pagdating sa ating Panginoong Diyos. Sa loob po ng kapistahan ng Christ the King, meron pong makatanungan na pwede po natin may tanong sa ating sarili at sa ating kapwa. Unang-una po, ano pong klaseng hari ang kaharian ng Diyos? Siya po ang hari ng mga hari. Siya ang Alpha at Omega. Subalit ang kanyang kaharian ay hindi nababatay sa lakas, kapangyarihan, estado, subalit isang paghari na kung saan siya'y naging abang lingkod. Ang pagiging pagpapakumbaba, ang pagbubuwis, ang pag-alay ng sarili, alang-alang sa ating lahat. Ito din po ay dakilang panyaya sa atin kung anong klaseng landas ang tinatahak natin sa mundong ibabaw. Ang pagiging Kristiyano po ba natin ay nakabatay dahil sumusunod tayo sa Diyos na nagbibigay ng kanyang sarili, nagtatato ng kanyang sarili, nakisalamuha sa atin liban sa kasalanan? O tayo sumusunod lamang sa isang pamamaraan kung saan dinadakilan natin ang ating sarili. Binubuhat natin ang ating mga bangko. Pinapahalaga natin ang ating mga personal na kapakanan imbes pagpapahalaga ng kapakanan, kahalagahan ng ating kapwa. So sa loob ng linggong ito mga kapatid, tignan po natin kung anong Diyos ang ating pinagpanimulaan. Ang Diyos ba na makikita natin ay isang hari, nagpapakumbaba, tabayubay sa krus, talaga ng sarili, namatay, nabuhis ng kanyang buhay, o pinapalaga natin ating personal na kakayanan na iniisip natin ang paghari at karyan ng Diyos ay dahil ito'y nakabatay sa kapangyarihan, lakas, estado, kayamanan. At sa bibling po sa kanilang lahat.